Today is Wednesday, the 26th of February 2025. All right, so let's start. So the market has been quite, very quiet from the beginning of the week because we've not had, serious fundamental events that could really move the market. See, in forex trading, fundamentals control the market. And when you don't have volatile fundamental events, the market will just kind of range. And we've been experiencing that lately. Even it happened sometime last week, and we're experiencing that again this week. So today, the first fundamental event to be traded today will come up by 4 p.m. Though over the night by 1:30 a.m., there was CPI from Australia where the data came out bad, for the Australian dollar. But then the main event for at least this London session that we're in, there's no tradable, but there's no event at all for this London session. Now, the next one is the overlap between the London and New York session where we have the United States, and that's just the only currency we're having the news on today. We have new home sales from the United States by 4 p.m. and crude oil inventories again from the United States by 4 p.m. The other one is the G20 meetings, which will happen all day. So no specific time that is allotted to that. It's just an event that will take place the entire day. So today, the view is we're looking at the dollar, but it's much later in the afternoon. So it's possible to have some technical movement in this morning session, but we may not really expect too much volatility because we don't have a corresponding fundamental data to push it. So I'm going to flip over now to the technical so that we'll look at what the market is having in stock for us today. All right. I have quite a number of pairs to look at here, which I'm expecting, well, all things being equal, we should experience some volatility on. I'll be looking at the GBP AUD, and that's what you're seeing on my screen at the moment. Now, this is GBP AUD. On the daily time frame, price broke out yesterday. That was a kind of a bullish movement, and price hit a previous resistance zone on the daily time frame, and price closed touching that zone. And I like to use my line chart to get a good view. All right, so you can see the tip of the candle here, is it touched the zone, the resistance zone, and that's where price closed for yesterday on the daily time frame. So technically, we should be looking at a possible reversal in price on this instrument today. And if we flip down to 1 hour time frame, we can see that this instrument is trying to form a double top pattern on the 1 hour time frame, which may lead to a bearish movement. While we are not neglecting the fact that another contributor rather to the bearish movement is this rejection candle, which we saw on the daily and is still equally reflected on 1 hour. So if all things work out good and this instrument forms a double top pattern and price breaks out below the neckline, then we'll see a bearish movement on the GBP AUD in the course of today. And we can take it a step further by drawing our trend line right here. So it's not just a double top, there's equally a corresponding rising wedge pattern around it, which might contribute to the eventual crash of this instrument. So you can see here we have a double top pattern. One, price hit resistance on a daily time frame. Second, we have a double top. Thirdly, we have a rising wedge pattern. All this combined together, it's giving me a bearish outlook of the GBP AUD in the course of today. Now, if price breaks out below the neckline, the projection is this: price may go to hit. Let's not give some few pips below the double top. Price may hit Fibonacci 38.2 at about 21 pips, or let's just say roughly 20 pips. And price may also go up ahead to hit Fibonacci 50 at about 54 pips. If the volatility is really strong, it may proceed to Fibonacci 61.8 at about 88 pips. So we have between 20 to 50 to 80 pips to catch on this particular instrument. Please don't sleep on this, just put your eyes on it. But I may also drop a signal on this as it evolves so that we can catch the pips better. So those in the funded group should just watch out in the course of the day. As I see this progress, I may drop a sell stop signal so that we can catch the move on GBP 80. To me, with all honesty, this is my high probability setup for the day. So I'm putting my eyes really on it. And I encourage you to do the same. So we're bearish on the GBP AUD, an opportunity to sell. And secondly, I'll be looking at the New Zealand JPY. All right, so this is the New Zealand JPY. On the daily time frame, price closed yesterday, around a support zone on the daily time frame. You can see we have a support there. And you go down to 4 hour, nothing much. Then 1 hour. On 1 hour, we have a falling wedge pattern. Yeah, this one is not having a double bottom or whatever chart pattern like the GPAD, but notwithstanding, it's still a viable setup. We have support, we have falling wedge. We're anticipating price to break out into the bullish direction. Let's take it further by looking at the 15 minutes if there's any information. This is actually trying to form a reversal pattern, but it's not too clear at the moment. Okay. Later on, if it gets clear, there may be probably a triple bottom pattern, but we still keep checking it to see how it's evolved. But generally, I hold a bullish outlook on the New Zealand JPY. So we're looking to buy New Zealand JPY if price breaks out above this minor resistance here, while it's trying to form a triple bottom or whatever pattern. But like I always say, patterns may change sometimes. What is important is knowing the direction where the market or the price is expected to go. So if price breaks out above that resistance, then we confirm with our RSI above 50 before we trigger and apply. So I hold the bullish outlook on the New Zealand JPY and the GBP AUD. These are the two setups I have for us this morning, which, in the course of the day, I do believe that will experience a breakout. Yeah, good morning, Benjamin. All right, so that'll be all from my end this morning. We took a setup, not just a setup, I actually gave a signal on BTC yesterday, but it didn't work out as planned. It didn't work out as planned. Well, such happens, we'll go again. The market can be very dynamic, but I think going forward, we should look more for an opportunity to sell the BTC USD. It's like the bull run is being put on a temporary hold, because I've given this outlook earlier on of a double top pattern forming on BTC USD on the weekly time frame, and price broke the neckline. So now I think, but I will advise don't enter on daily time frame except you are doing long term, except maybe you're doing a long term trade. Let me put it that way, because yeah, on the daily time frame is selling, but the stop loss can be extremely wide. Except you want to trade in probably with a 0.01. Fine. Price has broken the neckline. Very clear it has broken the neckline. But please trade with an extreme caution while you consider your equity. That's very, very important. It's more a thing about risk management. But from what I'm seeing going forward, we should have a sell on the BTC. The price may drop. Let me use that Fibonacci too. Price may drop to okay, currently it's actually trading around Fibonacci 38.2. Price will need to break that level before we have a further drop. So if you still want to sell, you need to wait for a new candle, even if it's on 1 hour, 4 hour, to break out below Fibonacci 38.2. Then price may proceed to Fibonacci 50, might retrace to Fibonacci 61.8. At least these two levels are as good as guaranteed, even if anything else is going to happen, even if there's going to be a reversal, it will touch at least Fibonacci 50 or 61.8 before that happens. So we have a bearish movement on the BTC USD for now. It may drop beyond that, but at least those two levels I've mentioned, and that's around it's around price dropping to $81,000 per BTC and possibly 75,000. So between $80,000 to $75,000 per BTC price might drop in that range. before we have any other changes. And if the bear is strong, it's dropping. That just need to keep watching the coming days and the coming weeks to see how this evolves in the market. And I know there are a lot of gold lovers in the house also. So let me just give you my view on gold. Not necessarily a signal, view on gold. All right, I said yesterday that gold was in a range, and I said that if price breaks below this support zone, you see this region as the next move. And if it breaks above here, then it's a climb higher. All right, so yesterday price did break below the lower support zone, and we saw a sharp rejection candle. Yeah, I didn't touch the other support side because of that rejection candle. But then we can see that there is a retracement, and we are having the rejection candle here, which will drive price a little downwards. When it gets to the support, I can't guarantee that. But all I know is that currently price is having price is going to hit a support turned resistance, forming a rejection candle, which may drop price for that. I'm saying this for the 4 hours. So let's go down to a lower time frame, like 1 hour. Okay, we still have that support turned resistance on 1 hour, which is leading to the current bearish movement. Again, we have a rejection candle testing that support, that resistance. Price may drop. Please take note of my words. I use the word may. I'm not necessarily giving a signal, but just an analysis. Possibly price might drop to this new support level one. Possibly. That's just a general view. But if it did drop to, or if it drops to that level, then it may end up forming a double bottom pattern. And if it forms that, yes, I can give a signal that price will go up. So let's just watch and see how it works in the course of the day. Potentially, we're looking at what may evolve into a possible double bottom that can now trigger, a bullish movement. On the long term, it's still going to buy. So that's why we need to trade with a lot of option, regardless of what we're seeing in the market. All right, so that's all from my end this morning. For those who are just joining us, I analyzed two instruments to us, and that's the GBP AUD, and I said I'm bearish on it on 1 hour. It's a high probability setup. We found a resistance on the daily time frame. We found a double top in formation on 1 hour and a rising wedge. It's a very super high probability setup. If all things work out and the double top.
Hello, sir. Please, what pair is this?
Okay. Sorry, I'm still saying something. So if all things work out fine with the GBP AUD, we should be expecting a bearish movement in the course of the day. And the next one I analyze is the New Zealand JPY, where we have price hitting the support zone on the 1 hour, and we're looking at a possible reversal breaking out upwards. So those are the two instruments I've analyzed. The other ones I just had to give my view, and that's the BTC. All right, you can drop any request you have to a specific instrument, and I'll do that in a few minutes. Wasu Shobande is asking me to check New Zealand USD. Solomon is asking me to check GBP card. Okay, Paul, GBP AUD, you said is bearish first. It's still forming. We need to wait and see the double top form clearly. That's what Paul Obasi for GBP AUD. Yes, the overall trend is bearish, but it's not yet time to sell. Price needs to break out below the neckline first. Now, if you don't understand what I'm saying, you need to attend our physical training session, where we'll really do a lot of training to break down all these things. I'm trying to get the GBP AUD for Paul. I think that should be Paul Obas. So, all right, so this is what I'm saying. This is GBP AUD. Price hit a resistance on the daily time frame, and it's forming a double top. It's not yet complete, but by the eyes of experience, that is what will likely happen. The double top is like letter M. We need to wait for price to break below the neckline. And coincidentally, there's a rising wedge. So we have a confluence around this region, this region. So if price is able to break out below this, yes, we are guaranteed to a large extent that we'll have a bearish, a further bearish breakout with our RSI also as our final confirmation below zero, below 50. So we have a bearish outlook on GBP, but we need to wait to see it happen, clearly before we finally take the trade. So I'm bearish on GBP. All right, let me check for New Zealand USD. Someone is requesting. All right, so this is New Zealand USD. Now, at the beginning of the week, okay, it's not. Let me just check something first. All right, so the tip of this candle here is forming a support turned resistance, and that has led to some bearish movements on the GBP New Zealand. Okay, this is a weekly time frame. All right, good. So on the daily, you can see in the last couple of days, this instrument has been sold because of that support and resistance. And we've seen some decline in this instrument in the last couple of days. This is a 4-hour. This is a 1-hour. All right, so on 1 hour, price is actually approaching a support level. Now, there may not be sufficient volatility to keep dropping this instrument. So this is what I feel may happen. If price, there's a trend line upwards. If price makes it to this support zone, at support, we're looking for an opportunity to buy. And on the 4-hour, that trend line actually is actually an upward moving trend line. So we may end up having a confluence here, a support and an upward trend line, which may push price into the bullish direction. Don't forget the long-term view of the dollar is actually bearish. So if the dollar is bearish, this instrument may be going please, I would advise you type things that's kind of noise where you are. That's for Mr. Michael. Just type.
Like I have this phone, but I'm not with my phone. No, I don't have okay. Because if you have Mr. Indira, I would have.
Please, if you know you're aware there's noise, there's no point trying to unmute your mic so that you don't cause distraction in the class. All right, so price might drop to that support zone and the corresponding trend line. A falling wedge information, which might now lead to a bullish breakout of the New Zealand USD. So it's still an evolving setup and still keep watching and see how far it goes. So I think I've answered the question that asking about my view of the land USD. I'm bullish, but price needs to drop first to this support. So we have a confluence of support and trend line before we have the bullish. All right, so the next person is asking about GP card. That's Solomon and Euro USD by Biodo. So I think Euro USD should be somewhere close so that I don't need to keep flipping up and down. Okay, I'll find Euro USD. So GP card is actually closer here. So let's look at GP card. All right, so this GP card on the daily time frame. Now, at this point, I always say this, please, in as much as I'm not really against you having your independent analysis and trades. Please focus a lot on the ones that we show you on the platform. Very, very important because it's taking our time to analyze them. At least to an extent, what I experience and what you have experienced on this platform. Yeah, we are not guaranteeing 100% win rate. Nobody can, but at least to a large extent, we have some 70, 75%, and sometimes even 80%. So if you trade on the ones we do analyze, there's a higher chance of you being more profitable as a trader. So that being said, this is a GBP card on the weekly time frame. Now the weekly time frame price is trading. Price just hit a resistance zone. You can see here, this is the tip of the resistance zone here. Price entered here. Price is just around this here. Now price is just exactly at the tip of that resistance zone of the weekly time frame. Now, in a big picture, GBP card is actually in a range, but on the weekly time frame, so it's not, it can still be traded. It's a range of 5 minutes, 1 minute that you need to not bother about. This is a range on the weekly time frame. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is that the price is at the tip of that resistance, and this is a move within a range. Price is being an up and down. So the next week should be an downward movement. That's what I'm trying to establish. So at that resistance level, we're expecting a kind of a reversal. That's the weekly. This is the daily. This is the 4 hour, and here we have the 1 hour. Yes, it's possible price may still push a little into the zone. I mean, it's a zone. Anywhere from within the zone, price may push, but we still expect a reversal and reverse outrightly from here. Anyone is possible. So we'll go down to 1 hour. That's where our entry will likely be. Now, currently on 1 hour, there's nothing to trade or analyze or do on this instrument. But this is what I perceive may happen. Price will try to form a double top and then break down. That's what happens usually when you have a long, this actually, well, I won't call it a critical information, but it's something that took me time to discover about trading. When you have a long, massive bullish candle like this, and price, goes like that to hit a resistance, many times when the reversal is what happen, to happen with the chart pattern, most likely a double top or a head and shoulder on the lower time frame. That's what mostly relates to the reversal. So I'm expecting possibly formation of a double top to lead to the reversal on this instrument. So it's not something that happens so fast. At least there will be some upward movement before the reversal happens. So you need to keep your eyes on it and see how it evolves to take a decision on when to place your trade. But I'm bearish on the GBP card. And you can see we're actually bearish on the GBP AUD too. So, though they are different instruments, but they are common. Pound is common in both of them. So we're bearish on the GBP card. Then the other is asking about Euro USD. Noel is asking about GBP5. Madam Elizabeth, AUD New Zealand. All right, so let's look at Euro USD. It's cool by. Okay, so this is Euro USD. Just like the New Zealand USD, the big picture is a bearish movement on this instrument, but in the short term, price hit a support turned resistance on the weekly time frame. This is a support and it turns resistance here. So we expect some slight decline. That's a weekly, daily. Price is ranging around the resistance on the daily time frame. 4 hour. Oh, good. I've been watching this. It's just that I have not cited it this morning. Now, I was telling someone this, thinking that, okay, that was in the Lagos physical training yesterday, that I was seeing a head and shoulder forming on the 1 hour on USD, and it's clearer now. That's when we were in class yesterday, what we had was a shoulder, a head, and price was just somewhere around there, right? So that person, from what I'm looking at, price will still go up and make its way down. So it's clearer now that this is gradually evolving into a head and shoulder pattern. So we have our neckline region here. So if price drops to this neckline, I think I'll give a sell stop order on this. Put my entry somewhere around here. The price will trigger it, and we should have some nice bearish movement on the Euro USD. They target the support here as I'll still confirm the price may drop to this support. That should be the range of 30 pips thereabouts. Okay, so I think I can give a sell stop. Hopefully, somewhere around here, some few pips below this lower part of the next line. That's about 36 pips, and I think we should do a ratio 1 to 2 on this one. It's going to work. So I need to, okay. Okay, it's only exactly 1 to 2. At least the take profit is going to be bigger. All right. So I'm going to type this now and post it in the groups. Euro USD sell stop at Euro USD sell stop at 1.04. $507. Take profit at 1.04105 and stop loss okay, this should 2 to 1. All right, I think that's better this time. Stop loss at 1.04706. All right, so I'll drop it now. You can take it. Please use apply risk management. All right, so that's the signal I just dropped on the USD. So in the course of the day, if what I'm expecting on GPAD works out, I'll drop that one likewise. So I want to just quickly post this in the funded group. If you're not yet on a funded group, you're missing a lot. All you need is to be funded or top up on your current fund, and you can be a part of the funded group. Still more signals, yeah, much more than what we do on this live session. So if you're in the funded group, you can just in a second head over there to copy, or you can copy at your own convenience. So I just posted the signal on the funded group right now. You can pick it up from there. All right, so that's it on the Euro USD. So Euro USD signal yesterday didn't click. Well, the market didn't get there now. We don't control the market. The price did not get there. I mean, there's nothing we can do. And that's why I always tell people there will always be another trade, another day. So if yesterday's signal didn't click, hopefully today should. All right, so I think I've attended to that on Euro USD. Sorry, I think I made a typo graphical error here. Let me quickly correct it. Okay, so I've attended to the Euro USD, which other one? GBP USD and AUD New Zealand. Sorry, GBP JPY, and that should be the last one, last set of instrumental analysis so that we can close. GBP JPY. Okay, GBP JPY. I think someone asked about this instrument yesterday, and I gave my view, but it didn't work out as planned. Remember, I was giving a view from what I saw at that time anyway, of a triple bottom pattern, which is what I saw, and we're looking at possibly a breakout. But rather, price used the neckline as a resistance, and with the trend line, it actually moved downwards back to that support zone. So currently, we can safely say that price is ranging on the GBP JPY on the 1 hour time frame. This is purely a range. This is a range. So, but then there's no clear signal. Yeah, it may go up and hit the resistance and come down, but you can't just say because of that place a buy. There's no clear entry at the moment. Price is just ranging. Except price goes up to hit the resistance up there, then yes, we can look for a way to ride the trend down. Currently, price is just in the middle. It's just in between. So there's practically nothing we can do at the moment. We need to wait for it to hit this place, then possibly at least a 15 minutes time frame. So then possibly can now possibly draw a trend line if we have a clear setup and now ride the trend downward. So you can just watch out. For the person asking, you can just keep watching and see if price will go to hit that resistance, draw the trend like I've done now, and wait for a breakout into the bearish direction. I'm showing you this on the 15 minutes time frame. So that's the best tip I can give on the GBP JPY. And finally, I'll look at the AUD New Zealand. And like I said, that's the last analysis I'll drop. Okay, somebody is responding to Paul Obas. Paul Obas is saying Euro USD signal. Yesterday signal didn't click, and Kingsley is saying it's hit take profit. So maybe he didn't apply yours very well. Because somebody is confirming it's hit take profit. That means that person Kingsley actually took it. So Paul, you probably need to check what you inputted into that trade. Okay, so I'll attend to Madam Onaji's AUD New Zealand, and we'll close for this morning session. All right, AUD New Zealand. This is AUD New Zealand. Let's look. Let's start from the weekly. Okay, on the weekly time frame, price actually hit a resistance level on the weekly. At least last week closed with price hitting a rejection and forming a rejection candle rather, and hitting the resistance zone up there. So technically, we should be looking for an opportunity to sell this week. That's on the weekly time frame. Daily, 4 hour. 1 hour. Okay, now from the 4 hour angle, since price hit the resistance on the weekly, technically I will only look for an opportunity to sell, even though it looks as if it's trying to buy, but that's a short-term movement. This is what I perceive may happen. I have a shoulder, a head. It may go up to form a second shoulder and ultimately drop, because that's what the weekly gives a clearer direction, as in the weekly time frame of what price will likely do. So if I'm the one, I will still look out just strictly for an opportunity to sell, and just watch closely if this current setup here evolves into a second shoulder, then we'll be looking at selling. But that's a swing setup. It's 4 hour. Will it still work this week? I can't say. It all depends on how the market moves. But just watch this region closely. And if price drops below this trend line I've drawn, you can safely take a sell on the AUD New Zealand. Currently, RSI is below 50. That's a good one. That the market is, undergoing a bearish trend, and the same thing MACD is below 0. So these are even telling you that this is not the time to look for a buy. RSI is below 50, and this is a 4 hour time frame. MACD below 0. All this gives bearish vibe. So don't go for anything bullish at all. Wait for price to reverse and break that trend line, and can trigger a sell on the AUD New Zealand. All right, that will be all from my end this morning. If you're joining us for the first time, this is PU Prime.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. God bless you.
Amen.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So this PU Prime, we're a global brand with our head office globally in Australia, and we have 2 offices in Nigeria, Abuja and Lagos. And we run physical training sessions at these 2 locations every week, twice in a week, every Tuesday. If you go to the Abuja office. Now, the Abuja office address is at PU Prime Africa Walk and Connect Building, 50 AB2 Okiwe Street, Jabi, Abuja. And the address of the Lagos office is Agos Business Lounge, Agos Executive Business Lounge, 54B, Adeni Jones Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos. Training day for this for the week is actually Tuesdays and Thursdays by 10:30 a.m. for the Abuja office and 11 a.m. for the Lagos office. We have another training session tomorrow. Have the opportunity, I will encourage you to attend. Though tomorrow we're completing the batch of training for the month of February. But from next week, Tuesday, we're starting a fresh batch for the month of March. Now, we have 2 academic batches in a month, each of them 2 weeks. So next week, Tuesday, we're starting a fresh batch for the month of March, which will run for just 2 weeks. That's 4 training sessions. In 4 training sessions within 2 weeks, we give you all the tips, all the information you need to get started as a trader. So we run 2 batches every month. First and second week is the first batch. Third and the last week is the second batch. So you can plan ahead. It's a lot easier to plan to attend our training now because the length of time is not like before. So it's something you can just maybe plan your time. Just 2 weeks attend our training, and it's just twice in the week, or even those 2 weeks. That's just 4 training sessions. You can get all the information you need to get started on how to trade the forex market. And don't forget, next week we are already going to be in the month of March, so we are having our first live trading session, which will be NFP by next week Friday. NFP means non-farm payroll, and it's one of the major economic indicators of the forex market. It's the biggest news of forex trading that measures employment change and unemployment rates and average hourly earnings in the United States. And we do trade this news live every month, and most of the time we have profitable outcomes, at least more than 75%, 80% of the time. That has been the experience, and people on the platform can affirm that. So join us next Friday as we plan to trade NFP live. And all you need is a live funded account with PU Prime to join us for that live trading session. All right, that'll be all from me today. Take care and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you.
Amen.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.